What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to show you the best way to set up a budget-friendly production environment. And if you are a beginner, do not worry. I'll walk you step by step on how to get this all together. Just stick to the end of the video. And yeah, let's get started. Oh, I almost forgot. One quick disclaimer before we get started. I will be using some paid services like DigitalOcean in this video, but this is purely for ease of access and I'm in no way sponsored by them. Neither am I sponsored by Docker or any other platform that I'm going to use in this video. This is purely just how I feel the best way to go about things. So take that what you will, but let's get on to the video. First, you might be wondering, what even is a production environment? Well, put simply, a production environment is the final stage of your application. This is when you push your application out to your user base. So your users are actually using it in real settings. And that's exactly what a production environment sounds like. You're producing the final output. We as developers stick with the local development section most of the time. When we test our code, when we write our code, we're all doing it in the local development section. Once we think it's good enough, we integrate it and then we test it. And then obviously, before production, we stage it for release. And then once it releases, it's in the production setting. So the production setting is the most critical stage of your pretty much of your app in general, because without a production environment, you really have nothing to go off of. In this video, I'll show you how to build a simple production environment, but later on, if you want me to make any more videos, I can show you how to scale your production environment, maybe how to make it bigger, how to make it flexible, and how to basically have load balancers so that when you have a bunch of traffic going into your website, you're not going to basically crash. So we could do that in subsequent videos, but in this video, I'll just show you how to get everything set up. And for that, we go back to Docker. Scrolling down here, we see that a lot of big brand name companies use Docker. So this is no joke. Docker is a reputable source. You can see we have Verizon, AT&T, PayPal, Adobe, Target, and Yale all using Docker. And yes, Docker is free. And let me show you how that is in the next section. So if we go up here, we can see there's a pricing section, and you can see there are personal pricing, pro pricing, team pricing, and of course, business/enterprise pricing. Now, obviously, as cheap developers who are trying to make big bucks, we're going to go with the $0 personal pricing. And since it's open source, there is no paywalls. The only thing that's different from pro and personal is you get a little bit of more private repositories and more image pools. But unless you're going big, I doubt we're going to use that. And for that, we'll just use the $0 personal pricing. And yes, on the Docker aspect, it is absolutely free. But if you want, you can contact sales and fit to your needs. But let us go on to the next section. So now we have to talk about hosting considerations, because you might have your big app ready to be downloaded, but where are its servers going to run? And that's exactly where we run into the problem in the production environment. So I kind of have this pretty nifty Microsoft graphic here that I'll show you the differences between self-hosting, which is this laptop here, and hosting it on the cloud, which is probably what I'm going to do in this video. But I'll show you that it isn't really as hard as to self-host on your laptop as well. So with your laptop, the pros is you can find an old laptop. If you have a friend who has a laptop, it costs you $0 to install Linux. Linux is free and open source. The only cost will be, of course, your electric bill. So wherever that is, you might want to be cautious with that. And of course, you control everything. This is your laptop. You control your data. Of course, the cons are it's not easily scalable, because you might be able to host 10 or 15 people, but what happens when you go thousands or even hundreds of thousands? You really can't scale for that. And that's why we need to go to the cloud for that. But it also requires a lot of work. So you need to flash a Linux image on your laptop. And yeah, it's for advanced users, but it is a weekend project. In fact, I have a bunch of old laptops running Linux. So I would recommend that once you get the basics down, definitely go this route. This is my recommended route. Of course, after you learn the basics. But for now, if you're truly beginner, with zero knowledge, I recommend we start with the cloud version because they're very easy to set up. They're always on demand. So if your power goes out, it doesn't matter. It's the cloud servers, they're still going to be up. And it scales because you can just add more computing power. However, the cons, of course, once you realize is it's not as customizable. You can't really flash your own firmware or do some hefty overclocking on their servers. And it relies on third-party companies, so take that what you will in terms of privacy and your users' data. But with that out of the way, let's go to my go-to cloud provider, which is DigitalOcean. So I have been using DigitalOcean for over a while now, and to me, it fits my demands. Of course, I'm not sponsored, so I'm paying out of pocket, but I think it's pretty good for what I need, and that is very important for you as well because you need to evaluate what you need and conduct research based off of that. Don't just take my word. Go research yourself and see what the best cloud platform is. If you want to follow along, you can with the DigitalOcean. But other than that, you want to find out your demands, your needs. Therefore, it will optimize for your pricing, and therefore, it will be budget friendly. Trust me. Once you find out your needs, it will be very budget friendly. So I'm going to log into my DigitalOcean console here. So I just have this default thing lying around just for this video demonstration. And if you're following along, let's create a droplet. So a droplet is DigitalOcean's version of a virtual machine. So you can see right here, it says spin up a droplet. So let's just click on that. Now you'll be brought up to this page. First, let's choose your region. Choose the region that's closest to your user base. Not you, your user base. Because let's say you live in London. If your user base is all the way in Singapore, you don't want the London servers to be hosting your stuff because your users will be accessing it from Singapore. So for me, of course, since I don't really have any user base, I'm going to pick the closest one, New York here, and we'll leave that there. For me, of course, the best distro, server-side distro is Debian. So I'm going to go with Debian 12. That is the latest version, 64-bit. And here we can choose our size. Now, you can basically choose, you can see here, we can go from regular from $6 per month. Actually, $4 per month. I didn't even see that. You can go from $4 per month, which in my opinion is very budget friendly, to, of course, what I'm going to show you is you can go with CPU optimized $84 per month. Now, I'm just going to choose this one for now because you can see it's cost about, I don't know, 12 cents per hour, and I have that much money for at least an hour that I'm going to use this. I'm going to delete it after the video, but I'll just show you, you can go with the $4 per month, and that might last you a long time. It depends, again, on what you need, but I'm going to choose this one because I'm just going to demonstrate it for this video, and then I'm going to immediately delete it afterwards. So now it's time for you to create your password. So just follow the password requirements. Let me just create mine, and there we go. And then you can see add improved metrics, monitoring, and alerting. Let's get that. It's free. Of course, let's not, well, it's going to ask us going to production. We need to enable backups. And yes, backups are very important in production. But for now, as a beginner, if you don't have any high stakes apps or some serious stuff that, I don't know, you're contracting to the government, just don't add the $16. It's not worth it. And then, other than that, we're pretty much good. So this will be your host name. And then down here, we just click create droplet and it will do its thing. So we'll be right back. All right, there we go. It has finished. So let's click and let's see. You can see there are a bunch of graphs that are monitoring how your droplet or virtual machine is doing. Currently, it's not active right now, so that's why we don't have any data. But you can see we have a bunch of things going on here. You can, if you accidentally create a droplet, just destroy this and you'll only be charged for 1 hour. And that's what I'm going to do after this video because I'm not paying $84 for that. But we have a bunch of things you can monitor in your droplet. You can also resize. So if you think it's too, you have too many traffic things going on, you can scale up to a even higher demand. So you can see you can request quotas up to $2,000 per month. So yeah, it goes crazy there. But for us, we're going to look at this IPv4 address here. So we're going to copy that address, and just a second, we will go to our console. So with that copy IP address, what we're going to do is we're going to SSH. The default user for DigitalOcean is root. Yes, it is a bad practice, but you can change that later. For now, we're just going to use root if you want to just get this set up and going. So we're going to SSH, yes, and then we're going to type in our main password, and we're in. That is our virtual machine. So we can do stuff like sudo apt update just to update our packages, let it do its thing. And then we can, I think it's HTOP is not installed, but you can, let's just try and quickly install apt install HTOP just to see what we're going on, what's going on with the thing. So HTOP, you can see we have, my thing is pretty beefy because I went with the $84 one. But again, it doesn't have to be $84 if you're just trying out, because it's only $84 per month. I'm just saying that. But we do get 4 cores and 8 gigabytes of memory, and yeah, so it's pretty beefy in terms of that. But let's get out of HTOP. All right, now we are not done yet because we have an empty Linux system. We need to actually install Docker, the main event. So join me as first of all, let's install Docker on this Debian machine here. So what we're going to do, we just did the sudo apt update, so we're good. Now we're going to do sudo apt install CA certificates. So that's your certificate authority. Let me just make sure I spelled that correctly. And then we're going to install curl. I don't know if Debian has curl already. Let's just do it anyways. And then we're going to press enter. So, everything's installed. That's good. All right, next thing what we're going to do is we're going to add Docker's official GPG key. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to do sudo install -m. Actually, let me just clear this since there's a lot of things going on here. All right, so sudo install -m with permission 755-d. This will be our output to be etc apt and key rings. Let that run, and it's done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to curl. We're going to basically get that GPG key here. So we're going to do curl with switch F S capital SL, and then since it's HTTPS, that's why we need that. We're going to do download docker.com/linux/debian/gpg, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pipe that result to sudo gpg dearmor output to be etc apt keyrings /docker.gpg, and we're done. Now we're going to take this final command here and we're going to actually set up the repository, because right now Debian doesn't know yet. So what we're going to do is actually, you know what, I will just paste the install link in the description because this one is a long one, but it basically uses a echo script here. So let me just paste this in. So yeah, this thing, what we're doing is we're going to get the architecture, and then we are going to sign it through the GPG key we just created, and then we're going to get the repository from there. So enter and no output, we're done. All right, now we're going to update our package index because we added a new repository. There you go, you can see the Docker download. By the way, I think this is yeah, DigitalOcean also has their own thing, so that's what's happening. But we're done. Now all we have to do is we're going to install the core Docker components. So that would be sudo apt install Docker CE Community Edition, Docker CE CLI, that's for the Docker command line, container d.io, Docker buildx plugin, Docker compose plugin. By the way, Docker Compose is very powerful. I might make a video on that in the future. But once you get everything typed out, boom, it will say 498 megabytes. Hopefully you have enough disk space. Let's go. And then we'll just give it a second. And actually going pretty fast, because that's the benefit also of cloud is you get enterprise internet. With your home servers, you might get, I don't know, consumer crappy internet. But that's up to you. All right, let's test to make sure our Docker installation is complete. Let's just do sudo docker run. Actually, we're already root, so Docker run hello world, it's going to pull the image and look at that. Hello from Docker. This then shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. And we are done. So now we have Docker on our system. So we can do Docker V, our version 24.0.2 at the time of this recording. But that's not it, because managing Docker from the command line is pretty powerful. You can do, Docker run, Docker create, but there is something even better. And yes, that is Portainer. I'm going to show you how to install that right now. So with Portainer, what we're going to do is, Portainer in fact is a Docker container itself. So that's pretty neat. You can run it on any system. But overall, Portainer helps you manage Docker containers. So we're going to run this command. So we're going to do Docker run -d, and then we're going to expose some ports. So we're going to expose port 9443. Now on the official web page, it recommends you to expose. Actually, let me just clear all of this out because we're beginning something else. So let me just type everything again. But on the official website, it recommends you to expose port 8000, but that's HTTP. We want HTTPS because it's more secure than HTTP, which you can intercept passwords and stuff. But other than that, let's give it a name, Portainer. Let's make sure it restarts always. And finally, we got mount some volumes. Now, with Docker, volumes are basically folders or directories that tell your Docker what maps to your host system. So right now, I'm on my host system. This is the kind of like the real life thing. Now, inside the container, it doesn't know that we have docker.sock. So what we're doing is we're mapping our host docker.sock, and we're creating this virtual var run docker.sock. And that allows Portainer to control our Docker installation. So we're going to do Portainer. Actually, let's do Portainer slash, my bad, Portainer slash Portainer Portainer common, actually community edition, sorry about that. And then that's it. So we're going to do Docker run -d expose port 9443, so that's the HTTP secure version. We're going to name it Portainer. We're going to always restart it. We're going to mount the docker.sock volume, and then this is our image. If you got all of that, let's press run. And it's not going to find that locally, but it did find it online. So you can see we found this. It says full complete. And that is it for our console. If you're console dyslexic, never have to worry about this again. We're going back to the browser. All right, we're back at the browser, and I just want you guys to notice, since we did something with our machine here, you can see we have some CPU usage, our disk I/O usage, and of course our bandwidth. So that's pretty interesting that it already started here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our IPv4 because this is our IP address, unless you want to set up DNS, which is a completely different story, by the way. But what we're going to do is we're going to click copy again, and then we're going to click a new tab and paste that in. But remember, we're going to go to 9443 as our port. So, oh yeah, HTTPS, of course, not HTTP. There we go. And it'll warn me that my connection is not private. There might be attackers. There's no attackers. This is just our server. So we're just going to proceed to that. And we are here. So this is our Portainer launch page. So you can change your username. I'm going to leave it as default. And of course, just create a password. So there we go. Password. And password. Hopefully that verifies. Don't allow collection of this random crap. Just uncheck it, and then press create user. All right, we are in. So we are in the Portainer basically dashboard, and what we're going to do is we're going to click get started, and you can see we have this local environment here, and we can just click inside, and we see down here we have all our containers. We have that hello world container, which is I think anonymous, and then we named our Portainer container, which is what we're in currently. And I think it's pretty cool because you can pretty much see everything that's going on here. So we have port 9443 published, everything else going on. You can see our host information. It's Linux, 8.3 gigabytes of memory, all of that. It can even do stuff like Docker Compose, which stacks, but we'll look at all of that later. For now, let me just show you how to create two simple containers. Alright, we might have our brand new shiny container, but what is it used for? Well, of course, it's used for building other containers. So right now, I'm on the Docker Hub. It's pretty much GitHub, but for Docker containers. And you can see there are a bunch of containers, or I guess images, that are out here. So you can see Python has 1 billion pools. All of these have 1 billion pools, so these are pretty popular. Let's look at the Apache HTTP server project. So this is the official Docker page. And of course, there's documentation on how you can basically create a container based off of this image. So immediately I see here, without a Docker file, we can just quickly launch this. We'll map port 8080 to our out-facing HTTP port, which is just 80. And of course, we can run it with interactive mode. That's what the IT stands for. So let's head back to our container and actually do that. First of all, let's just remember this. This is the HTTPD official image, so we don't need to do anything else. So up here, let's add our container, and we'll just call it HTTPD, and our image path or tag is HTTP and latest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to publish a new network port, because what we're going to do is we are going to map the Apache port, which port 8080, and we're going to basically expose it to our host as only 80. Therefore, we can access the website, or I guess your users can access the website. So after you've done all of that, down here you want to select that interactive and TTY, and then volumes. If you want to actually store stuff in the website, you're going to need this. Other than that, go down to restart policy, and if your website, if you want your website to always be on, then just click always. And let me just see, that should be it. So let's just deploy the container. And you can see it's going to do deployment in progress, and we're already done. So look, we have this HTTPD running, and let's look at our logs here. So you can see we do have some warning messages, but everything should be, yeah, resuming normal operations. We should be good. So let's take our, let's go back to our DigitalOcean and copy this IP again. But this time, we're going to go here, and hopefully, it should serve a HTTP website, but I'm currently not sure why it's not serving. Let me go to port 8080. That's also not working. Let's go back. You can see this is good. Let's do some debugging live on the spot here. This just proves that I'm not staging the videos. I'm doing them live. So what is going on here? Let's see if there's any logs. There is no logs. So I think what happened is we did the port configurations wrong. And let's see. So yeah, it should be a HTTP. Yeah, we flipped the ports. That's good because we can edit our container. So we just go in this container and we click duplicate / edit. So you can see here's our problem. Our container has port 80, but our host port is actually 8080. So we just switched it around. And that's no problem. We deploy the container. It says if you want to recreate the container or replace it, we'll click replace because we want to update it. And it's running again. So let's go here again. And wow, look, it works. Let's go. All right. So yeah, that is how you troubleshoot and do container updating in Portainer. The cool thing about this is you also get a, since we did the interactive TTY switch, we get a shell. So we get this nice and friendly shell here. Yes, you're literally inside the shell. Look, we can do ls, we can do cd/ls. Yeah, this is the actual shell. So you can literally, write scripts. You can do stuff. I don't know. Do I have the? Yep, I'm root pwd. Yeah, so you literally have the actual container to your disposal here. So you can pretty much do anything you want here and manage your server, or I guess your container, from Portainer. So I think this is pretty cool. Of course, you can do something else. Let me show you. You can even create a Minecraft server on this thing, which is absolutely insane. Alright, check this out. This is actually very cool. So Docker Hub actually has a Minecraft server image. And let's try to create our Minecraft server. So it does give us our port. This time it will be much more easier since it's the same port. The standard 25,565. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this image here. Just copy like that. And then what we're going to do is we'll go back to our container again. Just follow along if you want. Create new Minecraft server container. That is our image. And then down here, we got to publish some network ports so we can connect to it. So our ports, again, will be 25565. And that'll be the same on the container. And let's get an interactive shell as well, because obviously you want to see what's going on in there. Of course, this will create volumes for you as well, so that you can save your worlds. But I'm going to show you how to do that, in fact, right now. But right now, let's just change that to on failure, just in case something wrong happens. And then let's deploy the container. So it's going to take a while since the image is long, but we'll be right back. And it is done. All right, let us take a look at what's popping in the Minecraft server. So what I like to do is I like to go look at the logs first, just to see what's going on. And as you can see, we already have some issues here. First of all, it says we need to accept the Minecraft end user license agreement. And of course, that is specified by adding a environment variable, which is good because let me show you how to do that right now. So back to your Minecraft server, click on its name, click duplicate/edit. Down here in the end, we do have this environment variable table, and you can see we have this end user license agreement, and it's currently set to null. So of course, what we're going to do is we are going to type that to be true, and we're done. Now let's redeploy the container. It's going to replace it, and then we should be done. Just a side note, it might be all caps true, so if you have any problems with that, you can also switch that to all caps true. So let's deploy the container right now. All right, if you saw an HTTP error on the top right side, that was because I forgot to stop the container. So make sure you do that before you edit anything, because otherwise the container won't like it. But anyways, it's starting back up again. You can see it's actually generating our world here. So we can see that happening inside, again, our shell here. We'll just connect to that shell. You can see when we do ls, we see our server.properties. Let me just cat that out. Server.properties. And you can see you can change all of these properties, including the message of the day and the difficulty, all of that. So let's see how we can connect to this, or how you can tell your friends to connect to this. So we're gonna head on over to Minecraft. Alright, I'm here at Minecraft, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to connect to our Docker server. So, of course, we're going to click multiplayer, click add server, and let's just say Docker server. And then we can do our server address here, which, remember, don't forget your IP address. Let me just get mine out really quick. For me, this will be my IP, 137.184.214.65, and we're gonna click done. So let's see if it connects. On the other side, it should, yep, there we go, a vanilla server powered by Docker. So how cool is that? You're literally playing Minecraft on Docker. This is a legitimate Docker server. Look, we have this on here. You can walk around, jump around, punch trees, interact. Of course, this does depend on your server. If you have a potato laptop, you're not going to be happy hosting a server here. But if you have a decently powerful machine like what I'm having right here, we literally are playing Minecraft right now on Docker. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to set up a production environment, because believe it or not, many Minecraft servers, websites, anything else that you might think of that is running on the web, they're all using Docker or some version of containers. Because containers are very powerful, we can literally stop and start any one of them without anything interfering with each other. Therefore, let's say you, I don't know, don't like this Minecraft server anymore. You can just delete it. So yeah, anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.